I could see the live still going, so I chatted in the little live chat thing, but it didn't let me resume the live. So I am going to just quickly wrap this up so that anyone who maybe was here isn't like, what happened? So this is just the end of our live chat on the skincare empties. I chatted about all the products that I've used up in the last couple of months, you know, and kind of what I'll be repurchasing. I'm going to answer the last couple questions that were asked in the Facebook group for this live, and then I will likely just wrap it up here. So sorry about that, you guys. I know a bunch of you guys were hanging out with me and it just cut out, which is really annoying. Okay, so I'm just going to answer really quickly here, and then we will wrap up the live. So thanks, guys. Okay, the next question, so I talked about product application. When it cut out, I was just saying that I'm not a fan of wait times. I just don't think it's necessary. The exception is when we are intentionally waiting in order to reduce product penetration. So if you are, you know, if you wait 2 hours after cleansing, your skin is going to be dry and dehydrated. This is going to actually reduce penetration of something like tretinoin into the skin. I will say that I prefer the buffering method, but waiting 2 hours is a valid way to reduce penetration. Aside from that though, not a fan of wait times. The other part of the question was tips for applying makeup over skincare, including sunscreen. I think the big one is giving it enough time. You know, applying your moisturizer, letting it sink in, doing your sunscreen, you know, letting that sink in, as well as kind of picking something like a Japanese sunscreen that is cosmetically elegant and it isn't going to interfere with your makeup. Joni said, I really enjoy your microcurrent sheet mask. I am such a fan of that treatment as well. How often do you recommend that we use it? It can be used often. So with microcurrent, you can't really overdo it, so you're welcome to use the microcrunch sheet mask every single day if you'd like. So Lala asked, do you like using the Velve? Do you use it with conductive solution, Limu Iso Mist? So yes, I'm a big fan of the Velve. It's from a brand called Laduora. It's actually a dupe for the Sola Wave. However, it's a fraction of the cost and they've designed it better. So the Velve has like a magnetic closure. It has a slightly better like treatment head where you're applying the microcurrent, and again, it's cheaper. I don't think you need the serum for the Velve, so save your money. I would use it with one of your own serums, like a growth factor or a copper peptide. I think it's like works out to like $68 with a code. I have Mirror 15 if you guys need one. Optional, of course, but if you just buy the device without the serum and you use a 15% off code, it works out to like $68. So I don't think you need the serum. It is microcurrent as well as a warming device with ultrasonic. So all these things aid penetration of skincare into the skin. However, because it is microcurrent, yes, I do recommend using some kind of mineral mist. It can be the Limu Isocell solution if you're in a pinch. It can also be saline or like any of the strong electrolytes I've talked about on Instagram. So I use, again, I'm just careful to use water-based serums with the Velve. So Bradceuticals, the NCN copper peptide, the A. Florence hydration booster is great. So make sure you're using water-based products. And then yes, I mist with a conductive solution. And then just avoid anything with oils or high concentration of glycerin, anything that's going to interfere with conductivity. Lala also asked, do growth factors help reduce irritation from Tret? Been curious about that one. So copper peptides do for sure. Dr. Picard actually recommends using copper peptides with growth factors for that reason. So this is kind of like just an anecdotal thing because we don't have specific data. I find that they do, yes. And I know that Anti-Age has even done some, case studies. There we go. Anti-Age has done a couple of case studies on growth factors for rosacea. And there's some additional actual studies out there showing that stem cell conditioned media can help with inflammatory skin disorders and the like. So my personal opinion is yes, just because they help with repair and irritation. So Claire asked, she said she bought the Bradceuticals. What is the best way to introduce it into my routine to see maximum impact? So it can be used as a nightly serum, and there is topical studies on stem cell conditioned media used in this manner. Because this is a affordable option and doesn't have the delivery system of anti-age, don't mind the train, I personally like to use it with devices and tools that aid penetration, like the Laduora Velve. I can if anyone finds the live at the end, I can grab the valve really quick and use it at the end here. I'm still annoyed that it closed out on me. But I like to use it with nanoneedling, with devices like microcurrent, radio frequency, the valve, as well as cosmetic microneedling. All of these are going to aid penetration into the skin. That's how I would use it. In fact, I would prefer that, I would recommend that you use it twice a week with cosmetic needling instead of nightly without any devices that aid penetration, just because you will get more out of it. So if it's in between the two, if it's less often, but you're driving into the skin, it's better, in my opinion, than using topically due to the lack of delivery system, and the larger molecular weight of growth factors. Let's see. Personally, I use it PM because I try to not use it with ascorbic acid, just because we don't have a ton of data on that. Okay, so I won't cover the I won't cover the question kind of on sun damage because there's information in the guides, and I can cover it kind of ad link separately, and I'm trying to wrap this up, but I will mention, so if you had the anti-age accelerator but not the serum, what would you use as a before step? I would probably use an affordable growth factor option, like the Bradceuticals, or any of your other hydrating serums. Okay. Two more questions. Okay, so Kelly said devices and where you should start. So my kind of general thing is, one, with skincare devices, get your skincare routine covered, right? No device is a substitute for a great daily routine that's gonna help with skin health and protect your skin. Like, it doesn't matter if you use if you do the best treatment in the world once a month. If you don't have the daily skincare, it's not going to matter. So get the skincare routine covered first. Then figure out what your main concerns are. If it's anti-aging, if it's acne, if it's hyperpigmentation, and then look at what's going to be most effective. So if it's anti-aging, and also you have to decide your comfort level, right? Like between radio frequency and microneedling, I would probably say microneedling because it's going to benefit the epidermis of the skin too. It's just a wonderful treatment, but not everyone is going to be comfortable microneedling at home, and very close in efficacy will be radio frequency, so something like the NUA device. So that would be my recommendation for like anti-aging. I love microcurrent, but it's not as proven. So if someone is just starting out or they only want one device, I don't say microcurrent for that reason. It's great paired with other treatments. And then they said, I read that's not good in areas where there's no fat pads. Oh, she said New Face Mini. New Face. Oh, okay. The spelling threw me off. Microcurrent is totally fine for the fat pads. Oh, of course, Paulina. Sorry, it cut out. What a pain in the butt. I don't know what's up with YouTube. It's especially bad today, but I feel like there's always an issue. Okay, yeah, microcurrent is totally fine for fat pads. It's not going to impact anything there. It's just Kelly was just worried that microcurrent would worsen that. So if you're scared for microneedling, I would look at the NUA device, radio frequency. Red light is great, but I just find that it's very subtle and it's not going to produce the significant results that someone just starting out or who only wants one device is going to want. Okay, and then Lisa was just wanted to make sure that I link everything. I will add it'll be in the first live because we broke this up into two parts thanks to the technical issues, but I will add it to the description. I guess I could copy it to this one too. Elena wants a demonstration of the New Face glove hack. Yes, that is coming. I will definitely do that. And then Natalie also requested just an in-depth post on hair. I could absolutely do that. I'll probably do that in the group guides. Okay, and then that is it, you guys. So I guess I could play around. I really want to play with this, so maybe I'm just being selfish here, but this is the Mesosys PDRN Serum with the little microcurrent applicator. So I thought I could do maybe a fun first impressions, and then I'm just gonna grab my Velve. So I know there's probably not, I lost most of you guys, so I'm so sorry for those of you guys who are gonna miss this. But I'm gonna grab my Velve, and then we'll just wrap up doing that, and then I'm gonna end the live. So my Velve is literally on the table, so let me grab that 1 second. I just wanted to put it on the charger. Hi, puppers. Almost done, buddy. My puppy's been so patient. Okay, so I have the Velve. I put it on the charger. I probably didn't need to because this thing lasts forever on the charge. It's touch activated. So I have this guy and I have the PDRN Serum. I'm gonna quickly sanitize my under eye area. My face is bare, by the way. I just have some brow product on. So I have 70% isopropyl alcohol. So I'm gonna sanitize my hands. This is like a very tiny, tiny needle, so I'll talk about it in a sec here. But better safe than sorry. And then I have a little alcohol pad. I'm gonna run under my eyes. I think I'll test it here and I'll like on the forehead maybe. Trying to call me, what is going on today? It's like baby needles, but I'm still gonna sanitize. So I'll just do this area here, maybe I'll do my chin. Woo! That'll definitely wake you up. Maybe I should have done that instead of coffee. I wonder if I should share this to the group for anyone that's curious, but I'm nervous that it's gonna cut out on me. Okay, let me try it in case anyone wanted to watch. Am I back? Okay. There we go. Okay, I just shared it to the group because I'm gonna test out this little microneedling serum with our last couple of minutes here, and maybe someone wanted to watch it. Sometimes the Velve doesn't start right away when I touch my skin. Is that normal? It should. I've never had that issue. And definitely, if you have any questions, message them on Instagram. They're very responsive and very helpful. I will say that when I first got this, I'm so used to wiping like the heads of my devices with a damp cloth that I was doing this with that one. So I do that like with my microcurrent, with my radio frequency, like I do that with so many devices. I was wiping like any excess serum and then sanitizing it. That little bit of moisture was getting in the back of it and making it so that it would turn on and then not turn off when I was done. So that would be stopped by just sticking it on the charger, luckily, but I did talk to them and they said that little bit of moisture from the damp cloth was the issue. So you need to use a dry cloth or use isopropyl alcohol only. That's the really important part with using the Velve. They are coming out with a version, I think, with just the button instead of the touch. So if you continue to have issues, that should be fine. I haven't had any issues though, aside from the one that I created myself. But I do find that if you have any questions at all, they're really responsive. So I'll use this second because I sanitize my face. I got up, so I'm gonna sanitize my hands real quick. So I was sent the Mesosys PDRN Serum from the High Affiliate team. They actually were really sweet. They dropped it off at my house because they're doing I think they're going to be doing a deal on it. So they asked me if I wanted to test it out for the deal. I said, obviously I have to test it out first. But if we like it and you guys are interested, they said we could do a deal closer to Christmas. So I'll keep you guys posted. Obviously I need to test it. I thought I could do like a first impressions here. So this is a PDRN serum. It comes in the little serum here. And I sanitized this before I started the live in case I used it. Basically, you got a little roller ball with little tiny baby needles. Like this is even lower than like true cosmetic needling. It comes with a little brush that when you're done with it, you run it under water, you use a little brush, and then they have a little disinfecting jar that I got an alarm going off for some reason. So you have this little disinfecting jar with a pad, you add alcohol and you run the little thing over that. So basically they encourage you to clean it and sanitize it in between uses, which is awesome. I think that's great. So I haven't used it before and I already sanitized it. And then you press this little thing to dispense the serum. So you can see it's at the base here and then you can run it over the skin. So I just I cleansed my face before the live. I just re-sanitized it in my hands. These needles are like baby. I think I pumped out too much serum, but it's basically a PDRN serum. Woo, way too much. I'm gonna wipe off the excess with a little pad here. I just liked this idea because there are products, right, that just need to be driven into the skin, and PDRN can definitely be one of them. I'm just smelling it because I did notice that there was one essential oil on the deck, but I do find that K-Beauty products tend to have a really low percentage, and I can't smell anything. But I'll update you guys if I get any irritation. So I'm just rolling it like I would with a derma roller, really. So I like the idea, right? Like I would love something like this for like a growth factor, like the Bradceuticals. Like, or you know, you can buy the little jars, right, that have the attached roller on top. But I have tested a couple of them, and the needles tend to be really dull. I do notice that there's a new version that has it's square. It has little. It's like a. I'll post it in the group or something. But those needles do look a little bit sharper. But you have to get it on Alibaba. I don't think it's like for consumer purchase yet. Those did look a little bit better. I will say that I wish that maybe there was more heads for something like this, because you have this whole, you know, serum that you have to use up. You're using this the whole time. So I wish they had maybe like it came with, sorry, I'm running out of battery here. So I wish it came with maybe a couple more heads, but you know, I'll test it. I'll see how long that they stay sharp. So you would just use it like a derma roller. The needles are super, super, super small. Feels almost like nano needling. I can feel it though. So I'm just going over that area where I sanitized. And I'll do my under eye area too. And oops, see, I keep dispensing too much serum. I'm gonna wipe it over here. Isn't Hyophilia inside? Yes, yeah. They have a location in Vegas, and then they have a location here. And then Joe, the owner, his wife Michelle, has a microblading center that's literally down the street from me. It's super close. I talked about it in my last live, but a friend of mine watches Kim from Natural Chaos, and she drove up here. She lives, oh, well, I won't say where, but she lives south of me. So she drove up here because she was in the area, and she got her brows done at the same place that Kim got her brows. And because we were already friends, I stopped over there to see her, because I'm like, oh, you're down the street getting your brows done. Let me come by and see you and catch up with you. And that's actually how I ended up meeting the Hyophilia team, because Joe was there. So we sat down, we talked about the products they offer and sell to me, and I ended up testing some things. This was over the summer. So I got to like sit down and meet them hands-on and kind of just talk to them. So that's really cool just to have them local. And I will say that I've talked to Joe, the owner, on the phone. So they have Hyophilia and they have Beauty from Korea. So they have two different sites. I've talked to Joe on the phone a bunch. He's awesome. Like, I can't tell you how many times he's just taken time out of his day to like just cover like the protocol for the Saltermi, like how you mix them, the steps, what to use first, like what his recommendations are for post-care. He's really helpful. And then a bunch of you guys took advantage of that deal, right, with the Saltermi products, the flash sale. By the way, I said at cost, it's actually less, it was less than at cost. They actually lost money. They didn't just like not make any money from that deal, they lost money. So it was really a really generous deal. They just, you know, they wanted to do something fun. You guys got 5 of the stem and 5 of the pure for $100, which is such a steal. A lot of you guys reached out to me afterwards, after you guys did the deal, and just were saying like you asked them a question or they upgraded your shipping. Like a lot of you guys just kind of commented that you had a really nice customer service experience, which was really cool to hear. That's why I like working with small businesses. Not only do they often have wonderful products, but I just find that the people behind the business are wonderful. They tend to be very like customer oriented. Okay, I've probably gone over here plenty. So I just ran this guy over the under eye area and the forehead area where I sanitized. I will update. So again, I'll do this off screen, but I have you run it underwater with the brush, and then they have you run it over. You fill this up with isopropyl alcohol, and then you run it over. So if you clean and sanitize it, sorry, there's construction, you guys. I gotta wrap up this live. I can hear hammering of all things. So I love that they emphasize that you need to clean it, because this is the same case with the derma roller, right? You can't just sanitize it. You need to actually clean the needles, because the skin proteins will accumulate on there. And then you sanitize it, right? So I like that they stress that. So I'm gonna put this aside, but I'm gonna clean it after the live. And then the other thing that I had, again, I'll just use the valve. So I'm gonna sanitize my valve because I use the little baby needles here. Let me sanitize it really quick. So I'll use it to just kind of further drive in that serum. So just sanitizing the head of it real quick since I made those little micro needles. And those were so small, the channels are likely already closed too, to keep that in mind. Okay, so what I like to do with the valve, and you guys were asking about this in the question either, is this is microcurrent. It also has ultrasonic and it also has the temp, so those are going to aid with the penetration too. But it is microcurrent, so I like to mist with the Lemieux isocell if I don't want to make my own solution, just to make sure that I have good conductivity. Hopefully it doesn't make my little bit of mascara run. And then you can use a copper peptide, you can use a broad-cuticle growth factor. I already applied that PDRN serum, so I'm just gonna go over the area. Oops, I need a little bit more conductivity. And just further drive it in. And this is adjustable, so you can hold it like, I like it like this, like a wand. Like for the under eye, I like to pass like this. For the forehead though, I'll switch it like this, so it's a little bit easier. And this is just targeting the skin and penetration. It's not a substitute for actual microcurrent. This little red light thing isn't going to be a substitute for a red light bulb, so I'm not worrying about the specific movements. I'm just kind of going up and down. All right, my phone is about to die, so I'm going to end this live. Thanks you guys for your patience with all these darn technical issues. I think I answered all the questions, and we also got to play with the PDRN serum and microneedle applicator and the valve. I'm sure you guys are sick to death of hearing the animals in the background, so we will call it good. Oops, I need a little bit more mist. And I did show you guys, if anyone was on my Instagram stories, I showed you guys how sometimes I will use a little steamer. You don't want to get moisture into the head, so I will run the steamer on one side, and then I'll put it down and I'll run this over it. But that's a nice way too to kind of keep the skin hydrated and kind of keep the glide on there. Okay, you guys, I think I answered everything. I bought the Mesosys products for lips. Oh, sorry, I missed that one and haven't used it yet. Not sure if this is the same brand. Yeah, it's the same brand. Some of their stuff has fragrance, so you do have to be careful. Not all of it. No, wait. Some of their stuff has essential oils. That was it. Where the what's it called? The Snow White line, or like the brightening line. It's a different brand that High Affiliate has. A couple of those have fragrance. So it's not necessarily, it really depends, right? Like some people are totally fine with fragrance. Personally, I'm usually not. Essential oils, it really depends. Like I can use them if they're in a really low concentration, and it can depend on the type too. So I will update you guys and just let you know if there was any major irritation. I probably wouldn't use this. I can't smell it. I can't smell anything in here, so I'm assuming the concentration of the one that's in there is really low. I still probably wouldn't use it on my neck just because I have a crazy sensitive neck. Like I can't tolerate anything there. I can't use tretinoin. I have to be really careful. I can't even microneedle there. It's a pain in the butt. I can't do peels, nothing. So, all right, you guys. For those of you who found the second live, well, technically it's the third if we count the live that didn't work earlier. Thank you guys for hanging out with me. I'm going to get some work done, and then I'm going to pick up my kiddo. I will work on the gift guide, and I will list the products in the description of this post. Just cleaning the valve, by the way. So remember, no moisture, just rubbing alcohol. Alright guys, I hope you have a wonderful Wednesday. I'll talk to you later. If anyone rewatches this, the part 1 should be up on my channel. That's where most of the information is going to be. Bye all. Wait, how do I end it? Oh, there we go.